When we think of Ming Dynasty longswords, we usually think of the Changdao or crossbowman's Dao, but what if I told you there was an even truer Chinese longsword by L.K. Chen, a beautiful Shuangshoujian used during the Ming Dynasty, and it could possibly be, it's passable for Song Dynasty too. So this blade actually is longer than the crossbowman's Dao by L.K. Chen. This would be considered a great two-handed, double-edged sword. Now, was it used on the battlefield? I'm gonna be a little controversial and say yes. I think that these, maybe not this shape, but Shuangshoujian were used in militias, and they were dueling weapons by the elites, I'm sure. This sword definitely has a lot of taper. It's very light though. I mean, you can really get at it, you know. Has a beautiful tonko on there, look at that. I mean, definitely big enough to parry with the flat. Has a actual crossguard on it, which we don't see for a lot of swords in China, but you'd be surprised. We actually do see crossguards in the Tang Dynasty on Janmadao. And the pommel and the guard, they're so robust. They offer a really good kind of balance and weight to actually swinging the sword. And I mean, look at these beautiful shapes. Some people said they didn't like them, but I'm telling you what, this is probably one of the most beautiful Shuangshoujian on the market right now. All the other ones, you know, I just feel like a lot of Chinese swords have a lot of unnecessary detail to them. I think there's a lot of beauty and the practicality and design of this with very simple, you know, motifs in there. It really brings everything together. I don't need something crazy detailed to view it as beautiful. The Shuangshoujian was invented long time ago during the Qin Dynasty 2,000 years ago. So that means China has seniority over the longsword. China invented the longsword. Take that, Europe. They were a lot more robust. They started off as bronze and then eventually turned to iron and steel. Even though these weren't standard in the military, they were still definitely used in China during the Ming Dynasty. And I don't know why, but people tend to disregard its relevance and its importance in the Ming. Now, I understand that they were not standard for the military, but we have to think about militias, we got to think about palladial guards, and we have to think about bodyguards. We have to think about duels. If we see in the Wan Li scrolls, there are 8 soldiers carrying Shuangshoujian. I don't know how much importance they have in those ceremonial marches that they did in those paintings, but nobody talks about that, and I find that very interesting. What was the cultural significance of the Shuangshoujian in the Ming Dynasty?